everyone, it's Callum from Cagefront here. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, welcome to the channel. We're going to be recapping UFC Fight Night Manel Kape versus Asu Almabayev, which took place in the infamous Rusty Tool Shed that is the UFC Apex. And this card did have some good fights that did deliver. That should not have been in an Apex with no crowd. But we're going to get through those fights in this, and I'm going to be basing my recap off of Fight Card awards. So we've got Performance of the Night, Fight of the Night, we've got Upset of the Night, Fighter to Watch, and so on. And kicking it off, got to give Performance of the Night to Manel Kape. In the main event, he looked fantastic. Almabayev, don't get me wrong, he started off quite well. He was landing some pretty nice kicks, but the level changes into the flurry from Manel Kape, he's just way too fast. The guy is just way too fast on the feet. Looked a lot bigger than Asu Almabayev as well. Granted, going through the fight, I did think this would get to a decision. I thought Asu would have a little bit more success with the wrestling, which he was not engaging in at all at the start, which I found very strange. But honestly, like, there's just not much hope for him through it, especially after seeing the first round, because Manel was just picking him apart, split his eye, like the side of his eye completely open. He was just taking him down with the flurries, like absolutely suffocating him. And that's just proof in the pudding that Manel Kape, he deserves the title shot next, 100%. I think after we have Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France, which is deserved for KKF, I definitely think Manel Kape is without a doubt next. And I think that that is going to be against Alexandre Pantoja, who I do think will be able to beat Kai Kara-France. But looking in this fight, from what we saw that he can carry in to that title shot that he has, I mean, the strike accuracy, the ability to actually cut the opponent off, which at the start he was chasing down Asu, but then he was just literally just sidestepping across the cage, cutting him off while he was running around. So he was literally right in front of him pretty much the whole time in that second round. And look, Asu did have some clean shots. I mean, not only with the body kicks, he had a clean uppercut and he had a nice knee, but Kape is just so durable. The guy has got a bloody cinder block of a head on him, especially for a flyweight. And I mean, with that durability and not being able to get him down because he's so big, like, what options does Asu Almabayev have? He's not outstriking Manel Kape when it comes to that boxing. There's just no chance. And look, there are a couple eye scrapes in there, which is annoying, especially for Asu in those exchanges, because they're so fast. But that's also a problem in terms of the perspective from the referee. Those flurries are so fast and there's just so many strikes being thrown within them that it's going to be so hard to see that that's going to be scraping his eye. So it's just too difficult to actually call there. But ultimately we can see Asu Almabayev, he just had no business on the feet with Manel Kape. I mean, there were some good shots, but ultimately overall, if it wasn't just getting finished like that, which I think it was a good call from the referee to do, he was going to be getting chinned probably around those championship rounds, to be honest. So yeah, Manel Kape, he is next for the title. Now, looking at the fight of the night, as I predicted, as expected, and an absolute fucking crime that this was in the Apex, we have Nasrat Haqparast versus Esteban Ribovics. Oh my God, this fight was incredible. I mean, just completely delivered. But I had Ribovics in my predictions by a split decision. So it got the split decision, but I thought the weight of his punches would be able to get him across the line. And I had Ribovics, but I agree with the Nasrat decision. Having the first two rounds, the way that Nasrat was able to time his strikes, especially that left hand down the pipe, just split Ribovics' lip within like 10 seconds and landing really clean liver shots and then timing the overhand, that left overhand as well. He was just landing in all areas so much faster, just so much more crisp on the feet. And Ribovics, like, I mean, physically, you know, a lot more dense, a lot more muscle on him, especially even since the Sphere card. So a nutritionist is definitely coming in clutch there, and he didn't slow down throughout the whole 3 rounds. He looked fantastic, and that's where I honestly thought that power generation would come through. But This is why I had Nasrat Haqparast in my most underrated fighters in the UFC in that video, which I'll leave in the description below. It's because this guy has such underrated technical striking at such a high output. He is a really, really good kickboxer, and people just forget about him because Drew Dober knocked him out. I mean, honestly, like, he's on a 5-fight win streak now, and he's beaten the guy that got fight of the year last year. Like, gotta put some respect on his name. But Ribovics, 100%, he will be back, honestly. Like, not surprised at all he did not get taken out by Nasrat in those first 2 rounds. The durability on this guy is just absolutely fucking insane, and he definitely won the 3rd round, split Haqparast open really badly in that 3rd round. 100% deserved it, but I don't understand the point that was given from Chris Lee. Chris Lee giving Esteban Ribovics the 1st round. Don't know how on earth that happened. So yeah, definitely agree that it was a 29-28. First 2 rounds for Nasrat, and Esteban picking it up in the 3rd to take that round. So yeah, fantastic job from Nasrat, and he needs a top 15 opponent next, honestly. I mean, he could even be looking at someone like a Grant Dawson, possibly. We need someone, at least, like, it's got to be an eliminator to the top 15, or he's got to be ranked in the top 15 to this point now. He called out Renato Moicano. Honestly, with Renato just losing to Islam Makhachev, there is a possibility there, because he is down more so in the rankings around that top 10 position. And honestly, that would be a very good fight, because Moicano, don't get me wrong, obviously being finished by Islam, the guy's striking is seriously improved, and I would love to see that fight. Now, looking at the finish of the night award, gotta give it to the big lugging heavyweight Mario Pinto. This guy, the hand speed he has is honestly very impressive, and his calmness, his ability to stay calm under pressure, being in his mid-20s as well, going against a guy, don't get me wrong, Austen Lane, not the most technical, not the most brilliant, but the guy is a fucking mammoth. He is a unit. The biggest guy that he has ever fought, without a doubt. It's kind of hard to get bigger than Austen Lane unless you're fighting Volkov. But honestly, he faced adversity. This was a really, really, really good fight for him. Really good for experience, because Austen Lane hurt him, dropped him. I mean, was landing good shots. Austen Lane took that 1st round. Then going into the 2nd round, oh my goodness, absolutely fucking murdered him in that 2nd round. Just beautiful finish. Like, left hook, set it up, left hook, got jabbed, and then that, as he got jabbed, he literally went back to this point where his right hand coming around to check that jab perfectly on the chin, sunk Austen Lane badly. He was out cold. I mean, just a fantastic finish. Good that he faced the adversity as well. Now, I think he needs to fight someone like a Vitor Petrino. Vitor Petrino obviously having 2 lost skid at the moment, so it's a bit of a crossroads there. Could fight someone like Dontel Mays, you know, someone that is a bit more experienced and is just a bit faster on the feet, that can kind of match up with his speed. Or possibly, as a real test when it comes to the feet, we could look at a fight against Janata Deniz. I think that would be a good fight. Both of them not super heavy ground game art, especially not Janata Deniz, but this will really test the striking there. Maybe not straight away, maybe the fight after one of the other 2 guys, Vitor or Dontel, that I did mention, but that's definitely a fight to make in the future. Now, looking at the upset of the night, gotta give it to Sam Patterson. Kicking off the main card, the guy's work in Thailand has completely paid off. A plus 1200 odd for a KO from Sam Patterson. Man, the guy putting in that kickboxing work, it really showed in this fight. He was under a bit of pressure from Barlow at the start. Barlow was really trying to just hone in with that left hook, but we're slowly starting to see that Barlow, the left hook, the left hand is really all that he is having, which is being a real one-dimensional issue, and Patterson exposed him. I mean, beautiful check left hook to a right hand against the cage, just absolutely starched him. Kind of similar to the way Imavov did Izzy, just timed it perfectly against the cage, dropped him, ground and pound, and took Barlow's O. I mean, Patterson, with him looking like that on the feet, with that striking, if he can maintain that consistently, keep his chin tucked, and obviously have that submission game that he has along with it, the BJJ black belt, being 7-0 with subs, I mean, the guy is going to be a problem at 170. If he can seriously, consistently maintain that striking, he is going to have much more depth to his game, and he is going to have more tools to reach that top 15. Now, I want to see him fight someone like Temba Garimbo, because Temba, going against Vicente Luque, he got gifted that fight. He got absolutely starched, and that's where Temba needs to prove that he has improved with the striking. And a guy like Sam Patterson, he is doing the same thing. He is improving with the striking after getting destroyed by Yanal Ashmouz. So that's where it'd be a good matchup, because who's improved the most with the striking, and then we look at both of them. They both are pretty advanced with the grappling there as well. So it'd be a very interesting chess match if it gets there. But yeah, definitely keen on the striking fight between those two. Definitely make that matchup next. Now, looking at the Fighter to Watch award, got to go all the way down the card and give it to Ramazan Temirov. Now, Temirov, looking into the fight, very explosive, very powerful, as we know, and he dictated the pace in that first round. He had Charles Johnson on the back foot pretty much the entire time and had him slipping, and like they looked like knockdowns, but he's mostly slipping a lot of the time with just how heavy those shots were. Just Temirov throwing the fucking kitchen sink at him. And then look, Johnson, I mean, Johnson being Johnson, 4-fight win streak. The guy came back strong and just gave, like, honestly put in some adversity that Temirov did have to get through. There was some good knees in the clinch, and there was just some good output from him in that second round. And then the third round, honestly, I think Temirov was just landing overall better shots, to be honest. It was very, very much a sway throughout the second and the third, but if there's going to be any round that you're going to give anyone clearly, it's going to be the first round to Temirov. So this is a humongous win for him, and it's a seriously huge blow for Charles Johnson. Firstly, having to be put on the first fight of an Apex card is complete disrespect, and then he loses by a decision. I mean, it's honestly just sucks. He's just gotten into the rankings, had one of the best 2024s. It was a very close fight, of course, but that's just more to the point of Ramazan Temirov is a guy that we need to look out for, because he is a guy that has serious power. And honestly, if he can just get more experience through the second to the third rounds and maintain his gas tank more clearly and implement more of a wrestling game, yeah, he is definitely going to be breaking into the top 10. Honestly, adversity is there in this fight, which is needed, especially going into the top 15 with how stacked flyweight is getting now. Yeah, definitely a fantastic performance from him. I think it'd be good if he fought someone like Alex Perez, to be honest. Seeing that durability from Alex Perez and the technical boxing that he had against Nicolau in that last win he had, I think that would be a fantastic fight to make. Now, I hope you enjoyed the fight night, and I hope you enjoyed this recap video. And if you want to see more MMA based content, definitely just check out the video on the screen, and please like, comment, subscribe. It goes a long way for the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.